Hey guys, welcome to the third video in our 2017 Inktober challenge. I'd like to first apologize that this video is coming out a little bit late. Life has been really hectic and I was having some problems with a couple of the videos converting correctly, and then on top of it, I don't know why, but my lighting has not been staying consistent. I have the same exact lights, I have the same exact light settings every time that I go to record, but my cameras have not been consistent. So it's been an uphill battle, and I basically every time I go to record a video for Inktober, it takes me like an hour to reset up my color coordination and like everything for my webcam color and lighting settings. And even that, it might forget it the next time I put my computer to sleep, and it's just a nightmare. So I'm kind of troubleshooting with that on top of trying to get these done. So I apologize if any of the videos in the future are a little late. Just anticipate that some might be a day or two late for multiple circumstances. Could be anything from the videos weren't recording right to who knows what. So just wanted to give you guys that heads up. So now with that out of the way, we are going to be talking about kind of a heavier, I guess kind of heavier topic, but it's a question I get a lot. But specifically, I'm going to be drawing it from the comment from Nymaris? I'm sorry if I butchered your username, but it's finding motivation and time for art. So I kind of share an unpopular opinion in terms of finding motivation. So bear with me, please don't take it like personally or be offended by this in any way. It's just what I've experienced over the years and kind of how I feel in terms of motivation. So one vlog that I'm going to point to, which sums it up perfectly, is Bernie from Rooster Teeth talked about how he stays quote unquote motivated. And in that vlog, he kind of shares very similar feelings and thought points to how I feel about motivation. So when I was starting as an artist, I heavily relied on motivation and inspiration. Like if I wanted to create something or make something, I'm like, oh, it should be like emotionally driven, or I should really feel into it, or I should really make something that's amazing. And I put a lot of pressure on myself and relied on motivation. And by doing that, it kind of set me up to rely on something that isn't reliable. It's kind of like if you have a car that has a dying battery and you keep trying to jump the battery, but it only works every once in a while. So yes, you have a car that can potentially drive, but it won't work 100% of the time. That's kind of how I see motivation. So in his vlog, he quotes a Reddit post, and it really kind of sums up my feelings on how reliable motivation is, which basically is motivation is not reliable. I don't think motivation is really the best thing to base, I guess, your artistic ability or your career. I don't know how to describe it. It's not something to put your energy into. Honestly, my viewpoint on motivation is more you need to develop and cultivate discipline rather than relying on your motivation, which is what they also covered in the Reddit post. It's basically motivation comes and goes. It's really tough to stay motivated. For example, for me, I have an 8-to-5 job I go to every day. I have a life outside of YouTube and that job. Like I have a husband, 2 dogs, I have a family, I have a lot of freelance work. I am constantly working. And honestly, if I based that all off of just motivation, I wouldn't get it done. I have developed basically a schedule and a discipline to keep myself going and pushing forward and just creating. Anything from just little things to bigger videos or whatever I need to make, I have developed such a discipline and a work ethic over the years that is my motivation, so to say. I personally am in the camp of not really relying on motivation because, like I said already, it comes and goes. Like after going to work and all of that, end of the day, I might be exhausted. And since motivation is so emotionally driven, if you had a shitty day at work, your boss chewed you out, who knows what happened in your life, and you're feeling really down, depressed, or anything, but you're like, man, I really want to work on art, but I'm not feeling motivated, it's because it's emotionally attached to how your day was or what emotionally is happening in your life. So for me, just motivation is too attached to your emotions on a day-to-day basis for it to be a reliable source of, I guess, work ethic. So I know this is kind of an unpopular opinion because a lot of people, you know, you work hard. I'm not going to discount anyone's work ethic or, you know, say some people work harder than others, but it's basically to a point of if you want something to happen in your life, you gotta work for it and you can't rely on being motivated to create it. And I tell a lot of my friends this all the time and other people who have asked me at Comic-Con booths, it's like you just gotta sit down and do it. And by doing, you'll start developing a habit and you'll start to cultivate this discipline to just be able to keep creating and making no matter what the circumstances are. For me, one of the biggest things that helped with my discipline was actually having this YouTube channel. By giving me a strict schedule and forcing me to try to create and upload something every week. As it started, it was once a week and now it's twice a week, and even for this Inktober, it's 3 times a week. But by doing that, it's forcing me to be creative and to make things and to actually do things instead of coming home and sitting down and playing video games and doing whatever I want every day. I think to myself, hey, you know, you gotta make that video, you gotta make that art, and I sit down and I do it. And on top of that, I guess I do have a bit of motivation still in my life. One of my big motivators is getting a job or a career I want. So my motivation, it's not like I guess it's not like an emotion of just feeling up to it or feeling pumped to do art or, you know, that type of feeling. My motivation is more, I want a better career for myself. I want a better, I guess, working lifestyle for myself. And I want to pursue art. I love art and that's what I want to do with my life. I want to draw, I want to create. That's all I want to do. I want to make stories. I want to, you know, illustrate and tell amazing stories, show amazing worlds, characters, monsters, everything. And I get so passionate about that. That is my motivation. Like, that's what I want to do with my life. So that's kind of the fire on my ass of, no, you can't sit here and, you know, just let the world go by, Katelyn. Honestly, nothing is gonna get done if you just sit and watch the world just go on and you don't do anything. That's another thing that, at least for me, helps me to push through and just get up and do work, is telling myself the only way things are gonna change and the only way that you're gonna get to anywhere in your career or your life or get anything you want in life is to just do it and just go for it. I have so many friends that have been waiting to do personal projects like their own series or comics or animations or lots of different things, and I'm just like, you guys gotta just do it. It might take a long time, it might be a quick process, who knows, but by doing it you just learn the process of making it, and it just feels so fulfilling to sit down and actually complete something that you've been so passionate about and wanting to create and just producing it. We need more doers in the world. That's another great talk from Jake Parker. I'll also include it in the description along with Birdie's vlog, where he basically talks about we need more doers in the world. We need people to just start creating no matter where they are in life. Like for me, I made my first comic in college and then I released it when I graduated from college. But looking back, it wasn't the greatest. Like, yeah, it had some perks and, you know, whereas like it was, my skill was where it was when I did it. But instead of waiting for me to have the perfect skill level, the perfect look to my art, I just did it. And I just like, I don't care, I wanna make this thing and I'm gonna make it and it's gonna be great. I'm where I am now, so let's just produce it and make it. And I think that also helps drive me to keep creating, is thinking to myself, I'm not perfect, I never will be perfect. My art will always evolve. And the only way I'm gonna get better or evolve or even like grow in my career is to just do things and make things. And I don't want this to seem like a lecture at all. I'm just telling you guys what I needed to hear when I was younger because I heavily relied on motivation. When I first started as an artist, way back in the day, like middle school, early high school, I would go through like periods and spurts of not drawing at all because I didn't feel motivated. I would be tired or, you know, just didn't have some amazing idea and grand inspiration, and I'm just like, I don't want to do it. I don't have some cool or amazing idea. And by telling you this, I hope that I can help you guys get over that mindset earlier on, so then you can start cultivating discipline instead of motivation. And one of the ways that I think I could also help is giving you guys an idea of how to make that discipline. So first off, don't start off going really hardcore. Like, it's really tough to grow and create a good workflow for yourself. So don't start off by murdering yourself. Start with little baby steps. For example, maybe every day you come home and sketch a new animal. One drawing. Doesn't have to be perfect. Maybe give yourself a time limit. Like, hey, you know, today I'm gonna sketch a fox for 5 minutes. And then you come home the next day. All right, today I'm gonna sketch a horse for 5 minutes. They don't even have to be like one sketch. Maybe you're like, I'll sketch a horse head and then I'll sketch a body tomorrow. Or I'll try this the next day. And just slowly start building that discipline and workflow. And then it will just slowly kind of fall into place and it will become more of a habit and something that naturally happens as you continue to progress and as you continue to keep drawing. And on top of that, that will kind of be your stepping stone for doing daily art or daily drawings, or even like practicing things that you're not comfortable with. Like maybe you start with things you like to draw. Like let's say you like to draw, I don't know, like wolves. You could start with doing a new wolf sketch every day, and then you later move on to doing wolves in different styles. And then you're like, well, that was cool, but let's try like a new animal, or maybe we'll try people today. And by doing little things every day, you'll slowly build up that work schedule. And then going along with, I guess, work schedule is actually scheduling things out and giving yourself deadlines, even if you don't have like a client, or you're not doing freelance work, or you don't have like a YouTube upload schedule. By giving yourself personal deadlines, that's helped me a lot. It doesn't work for everyone, and I don't want you guys to like murder yourself and stress over it to the point of just a whole anxiety meltdown panic attack. But by giving yourself personal deadlines, it kind of, I don't know, spurs you to want to meet those. And it's kind of like making a checklist or a to-do list and reaching some personal goals. And they don't have to be big things. Like, that's another thing I want to just keep emphasizing. Don't feel you need to do big projects or big to-dos to make it worth it. It's the little things that add up, so then you can build discipline to be able to do those big projects and meet those deadlines for those big projects. So maybe be like, by this date, I want to do this many practices of something, or by this date, I would like to complete this painting I'm making, or by this date, I want to finish writing the first chapter of my comic, or anything, maybe like researching by this date and just making yourself a checklist of to-dos. And each time you check one of those off, it feels so good. Like, that's been helping me a lot with making lists and finding out what needs to be done in what order. And I'll probably go over prioritizing in another video, but just making that and checking it off is just so satisfying. And that's what motivates me and like keeps me on this constant treadmill of making art and videos, is just that satisfaction of finishing a project and having a job well done. So I hope that helped you guys with motivation. I know it's not the most popular opinion, but at least that's how I feel. I think motivation is a myth, and you should really rely on discipline and learning to schedule and discipline yourself to keep creating. Because in the end, motivation is such an emotional thing. It will only get you so far. So thanks again, guys, for stopping by and checking out this video. And if you aren't already, you can go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I have new videos every week, and I would love to hear if you guys want me to talk about anything else during Inktober. So go ahead and leave some prompts down in the comments below. Thanks again, guys, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye, everybody.